We couldn't leave Sony booth without comparing their brand new mid-range device with a mid-range device we have with us, the HTC One Mini. So we're going to compare the Sony Xperia M2 with it right now. Before we dive into details, this is how they compare. The M2 is a much bigger, taller device, I should say. Now in terms of thickness, it is also thicker, even though this hump here, or I should say curvature, might be misleading. Now flipping it to the back, we have the classic aluminum build of the HTC One Mini and the Max, and we get the plastic rims on the side, while the M2 has the sandwiched glass construction, 2 sheets of glass and the aluminum slash plastic frame. Going through the specs, we'll start with the screens. The screen on the M2 is a larger one at 4.8 inches versus a 4.3 incher on the One Mini. Also, the resolution is a smaller resolution on the M2. We got QHD resolution of 540 by 960 versus the 720p resolution on the HTC One Mini. The One Mini is also a more powerful, slightly powerful device. Snapdragon 400 clocked at 1.4 GHz versus the Snapdragon 400 clocked at 1.2 GHz on the M2. Internal storage is the same, 16 GB. However, you cannot expand the storage of the One Mini, while you will be able to do that on the M2. Flipping it to the back, 8-megapixel shooter versus the 4-megapixel non-OIS version of the ultra-pixel camera on the One Mini, and a 1800 milliamp hour battery powering it versus a 2300 milliamp hour on the Sony device. Of course, we got HTC Sense signature boom sound speakers on the top and on the bottom, while we have only one speaker grill right here on the bottom of the Xperia M2. We'll go much more in details and in depth once we have the M2 in our labs, but until then, this was a short comparison between the One Mini and the M2. I've been Anton, Jaime behind the camera as usual. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for much more.